Hi there, Christina here from Dastrom Run Clubs. And if you're watching this video, you either booked a call with us or you're about to book a call with us. And this video is to show you how a kids run club actually works and how it impacts your community and why I believe that it's the best, easiest, fastest way for a mom who doesn't want to work full time or who doesn't want to work in an office to make the income that she needs in a way that you don't have to sacrifice your family. But not only that, that you really create an impact in your community with our growth mindset curriculum. I'm also going to be super transparent with you, and I am going to tell you about our company and how we work because honestly, like there's so many scams out there and there's so much BS that I want you to know that we're for real and I want you to see how we work. And so that it's important that you watch this stuff before our call so that in that call, in our conversation, we can focus on you and making sure that what we provide is a good fit for what you want to do. All right. This should take about 15-20 minutes. I will do my best to stay in that time frame. And yeah, let's get going.
So, what we're talking about here is the opportunity to make between 2 and 8K a month or more. Obviously, you're not going to make $8,000 a month working 10 hours a week, but 2K in under 10 hours a week is something that my clients do regularly. And doing that using a proven methodology and a curriculum to achieve those results and truly impact the kids by using our growth mindset curriculum. The flexibility to make your own schedule where you involve your kids in your business. This is something that you do with your kids if you would like, where you own 100% of your business. It's your work. You keep 100% of your profits, where you will receive world-class training from me personally and be a part of an incredible community of moms from across the country who have started this same business and develop the skills and mindset so that you can grow your purpose-driven business and never have to worry about money again. But in the larger picture, this is really about transforming kids' lives because, again, our curriculum focuses on teaching growth mindset for kids ages 3 to 13 through running games and drills. The cool thing is that you get to do all of this without having to create your own lesson plans, bring people down or into any downline, hassling your friends and family, figuring out how to do marketing, where to market and how to get kids enrolled, how to build a website from scratch, investing in a physical location. They're thinking that they need some sort of studio or location is a huge block for so many moms, and it just isn't true. Basically, you get to do all of this without any of the other headaches that comes with starting a traditional business. Now, just to show you what is possible, these are all screenshots from our private Facebook community. So on the income side, here's a client who couldn't believe that she made $7,000 in January in Chicago with a run club outdoors. And another client who hadn't even finished our program and already had 20 kids registered for her first ever session. She ended up filling that session with over 30 kids. And kids love it. Here's a client who sent out one email to her current clients and made $800 by re-registering kids for a second season. And sometimes we work with partners like schools and Parks and Rec. And this mom on the left in Kansas worked out a deal with a preschool where they paid her to bring run clubs so that every kid could participate. And it's right, not left. But, and here's an example from North Carolina where our client got support from her peers before her first day and then came back to tell us that everything went great and that she is on cloud 9. Or another client from New Jersey who met with a school principal who was so excited, the principal started giving her ideas and contacts on how to branch out even further than that school. So yes, it's about a business where you are going to make an income, but it's also about the impact you make. Here's a quick clip from some first and second graders.
Hard as I could to finish run club.
Yeah, was it hard?
Yes, but I did it no matter what.
Awesome. And what do you tell yourself when you're tired?
I am powerful.
What do you tell yourself when you're tired?
I tell myself to be brave.
Oh.
But mostly I'm invincible. invincible.
Okay. Audrey, what do you tell yourself when you're tired?
I can do it.
What?
I can do it.
Pretty cool, right? And I can sit here and tell you story after story about kids that I have seen really transform in front of my eyes in terms of their confidence and their beliefs just from participating in our run clubs. So, what is a profitable kids run club exactly? Well, the easiest way to explain is to first give you some context on us and what we do. So, I come from the corporate and nonprofits world, having worked on Wall Street and Silicon Valley, but I wanted a family more than anything. So, I became a stay at home mom when my sons were born. I have two boys, they're 21 months apart. And as much as I love my kiddos, I felt like I needed something more. But I didn't want to go back to work full time, so I became a preschool teacher and we all went to school together, which was a truly some magical and wonderful years. And where I really discovered that I had a passion for teaching. But my kids grew and they moved on to a different school, and I wasn't able to go to my son's kindergarten Halloween field trip because I had my own Halloween party for my students. That's when I realized that teaching became a job and taking care of other people's kids when I really wanted to be there for my own boys. At the same time, I went from an overweight mom to a triathlete, and that journey, that came with a lot of mindset shifts and growth. And after I finished my third Ironman triathlon, which, in case you don't know, it's a 2.4-mile swim, 112 miles on the bike, followed by a 26.2-mile run. So after my third one of these, I knew that I was a changed person. I was no longer the girl in the back of the gym smoking pot in high school. And I could do something with the lessons I had learned along the way. So I approached my kids' school and asked if I could start a run club there. And they said yes. So fast forward 3 years, and I was selling out every quarter with about 200 kids. I was in multiple locations, and schools kept calling me to work with them. I was making close to about $10,000 a month, but I was still working part-time because at that time, my parents were very ill at the end of their lives, and I was their caretaker. So basically, I took my business experience, my teaching experience, and all the mindset learning I did going from fat to fit to create what today is Dastrom Run Clubs. And it took me a long time to get the formula right, the business model, the curriculum, all of that. But once I knew I had it, I wanted to empower other moms to have the same successes I was having. And I vowed to create a business that gave my clients everything I didn't have when I was starting out, but I desperately needed. And today we're in it says here 70, but we're in close to 100 communities across 25 states, all independently owned businesses who together we have impacted thousands of kids' lives across the country. And the reason we grow so fast is because moms don't want to choose between having to make an income and their kids. So in general, they try part-time jobs, which pay horribly, and you end up working way over hours anyways. They try work from home opportunities and MLMs and even franchises. But these rarely work for a couple of reasons. First, they don't work because they're oftentimes scams or schemes that don't really bring a profit, and what you're quote unquote buying into is not really what they're offering. And second, because you're still trading time for money and you need to fit that around your kid's schedule. So then what? Well, your only real choice then is to start your own business and be in charge of your own time and of your own resources. And I don't mean an MLM. I mean a legitimate business where you own 100% of it. That way, you don't have to ask your boss for permission to stay home with your sick child. I mean, really. You don't have to commute to an office or pay for daycare or hassle your family and friends to buy something that they don't want or meet upline expectations and downline expectations and be on other people's schedules so that you can earn the income that you want and still be the mom that you want to be. Great, because that's so easy, right? To start a business. But then what business do you even start? Well, If you love working with kids and you're into fitness, then honestly, a kids run club is really the ideal solution. And I'm going to tell you why. Because there's a huge market opportunity. First, not all kids like team sport, but they all still need exercise. Also, many team sport kids become competitive so fast that they lack the growth mindset they need for long-term success. But parents, they need activities that are accessible so that they have an extra hour for themselves. Younger kids, ages 3 to 5, they're often excluded from enrichment activities. Community organizations, they are always looking for funding. And running doesn't require special equipment or facilities that parents need to purchase or that you need to find. You can host a club anywhere. You don't need an entire track or an entire field. We've done it in backyards and even in driveways. Good running form in childhood prevents injuries as adults. And finally, I deliberately call it a club, which is less formal than team because you don't need a PhD to be an amazing club coach. My clients are just regular moms who decided they wanted to make an income without sacrificing their family. They are stay-at-home moms, they're working moms, military moms, teachers, executive nurses, personal trainers, and more. But what they do all have in common is that they love working with kids, they love health and fitness, and they were both coachable and resourceful. Now, I know you might be thinking that you may not have what it takes. So I created this quiz, which takes less than 3 minutes to complete, but it will assess your readiness to start a kids run club. So jot down this address, and if you'd like, do the quiz before our call. I'll leave the link up here for the next couple of slides. I know for a fact that what you don't need is to have an MBA, to be a fitness instructor or teacher, to have a storefront, to spend money on ads, or to have a huge track. All of that stuff is just not necessary. Okay, so now you might be thinking, great, but how do I make money here? Well, I'm glad you asked. So let's break this down. It's math. It's not magic. So let's say you have 15 kids in your class, and each kid is paying you $12 to be in that class, which is about the average across the country. It used to be 10, but I'm noticing more and more that it's closer to 12. So just having 15 kids in your class and each paying you $12, you're making $180 an hour. But as a business owner, you're going to have expenses, insurance, website, this and that. So let's say that you suck at money management, right? And that you have $40 of expenses per class, which is like crazy, by the way. But even with that, you're still making $140 every time that you coach. How much money you make overall is going to depend just on how many kids you coach and how many hours you work. And that's your trifecta. More kids and more hours, more income. But not everybody wants that. So you get to decide how much you want to work and how much income you would like to make. It's just a formula. There are a few caveats though. You are working with kids and they deserve the very best that you've got. This is not something that you can just wing it. And the second is that it sounds simple, which it is, but without guidance, it's not easy. Trust me, I've been there, I've done that. So what we do here at Dastrom is that we collapse time-space reality to get you up and running in 8 weeks or less so that you can start earning an income in warp speed, but without sabotaging yourself. And I'm getting to the end of our presentation here, so just bear with me just a little bit longer. We do this by teaching you 3 main pillars. First is the business fundamentals. So how the heck do you get this going? How do you set up your business? What business models have worked for us? How to market to families, set up registrations, take parent payments, like all the nuts and bolts that you're going to need to start your business. Then we teach you our curriculum, our empowerment curriculum. So what is it that you teach in each class so that the kids under your care get as empowered as this kid?
What are you doing?
I'm running because you know what? Negatives come sometimes, but you know what you say? To them, hey, bye. I'm not gonna stop running. I'm gonna keep going because I want to reach my goal in running, and I'm not going to give up. I am a run club member, and I will not stop.
So when he's talking about positives and negatives here, it's a game that we play. It's one of our curriculum games. And finally, we teach you success coaching, or we give you success coaching. We have a life and mindset coaching program inside our program so that you stay accountable to your goal, whatever they are. Now, during our call, we're going to determine if this is going to work for you and depending on the goals that you have. And if it will, then I will go into a lot more detail about what we teach and also how we do things here because it is quite different. But to get you ready for the call, here are a couple of hints. First, make sure you show up. We will be there to serve you at our highest level, but you need to be there. Now, we're all moms and life happens, but if you want things to change, you've got to make this a priority. We rarely take reschedules, so if you need one, please give us at least 24-hour notice. Your kids can be around during our call. Like, we don't need absolute silence. You're a mom, but try to schedule it at a time where they will be busy or where you will be able to focus. That is, like, don't schedule for the middle of your busy, getting ready for dinner time. Also, take the quiz at dsrunclubquiz.online if you want to see your readiness score, and that will also help us see what your strengths and weaknesses are. And finally, to that call, bring pen and paper because you're going to want to take notes, and we're going to go through a lot of information, okay? Most moms, they tell me that the call helped them get clarity on what they want, whether or not we end up working together. And that is my commitment to you, to give you value during our time together. Alrighty? Well, I'm going to leave you with this picture that one of my clients sent to me yesterday. It's a logo that her kid drew for her business, and she's using an adaptation of it. Doing business with your kids is one of the greatest joys that I've had in my business and that a lot of my clients have had. So get excited and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.